of hearing about all of the radicals and the perverts and the liberals and the leftists and the communists coming out of the closets. It's time for God's people to come out of the closets, out of the churches, and change America. We must do it.
We've got to raise up an army.
I don't want to wait no more.
Let me propose something. Religion does no harm at all. Discuss.
Well, of course, you know, evidence of history and even contemporary events refutes that.
Whatever.
Even if we set aside, you know, the obvious war, conflict, violence that has always plagued society and has gotten particularly worse under the Judeo-Christian religions, even if we set that aside, we have ordinary, everyday things that are going wrong. The sort of dehumanization and mistreatment of homosexuals, for example, is a prominent example, and it's getting worse in this country, actually. It was getting better for a while, but now there's this backlash, and that's bad. That's bad for humanity. And a religion that encourages that or even allows that is wrong.
I agree with capital punishment, and I believe that homosexuality is one of those that could be coupled with murder and other sins. It would be the government that sits upon this land who would be executing the homosexuals.
If certain fundamentalist Christians had their way, we would put gay people to death. And you know what? We should do that. We should strap them right to this gurney and lethally inject them. Because God does hate fags. The real question is why moderate Christians don't agree with God. Because when it comes to his rules, God is not a moderate.
Don't you commit yourself to some political party or politician. You commit yourself to the principles of God and demand those parties and politicians align themselves with the eternal values in this book. And America will be forever the greatest nation on this earth.
You ever notice what a bad rap the Inquisition gets? Even some Christians today think it was a bad idea. But how could it be a bad idea? If the Bible is right, aren't the stakes as high as they can be? If a little suffering here on earth saves more souls for all eternity, isn't that a good thing? The Inquisition was not a perversion of Christian doctrine. The Inquisition was an expression of Christian doctrine. Moderate Christianity makes no sense. Is it any wonder that so many people choose the Christian leaders who actually have the courage of their convictions?
Many people imagine that belief in the end of days and the idea that Jesus is in this generation likely to come down out of the clouds and save the day, we imagine that this is a fringe conviction. It really isn't.
The rapture is described in the Bible in 1 Thessalonians chapter 4, verses 16 and 17, as being when Jesus Christ comes back to earth and takes up his church to heaven. And the church is all the people that are believers in him and not the buildings.
22% of Americans claim to be certain that Jesus is going to come back to earth and judge the living and the dead sometime in the next 50 years. Another 22% think he probably will. So that's 44% of the electorate who are basically convinced that he's coming back in their lifetime.
Personally, I think it's going to happen within my lifetime. I'm 47 now, and If I live a normal life, then that would be in the next 20 or 30 years.
Now, when you unpack what that conviction entails, it is perfectly maladaptive to planning for a sustainable future for the human race. It's maladaptive, certainly when it comes time to avoid global conflict, because by the lights of these prophecies, global conflict is actually the precursor to Jesus coming back.
Hearing different Bible scholars saying the things that are going on in the world today, pretty much everything has happened that the Bible said has to happen before the return of Jesus Christ. So if it's all happened, we're pretty much ready to go at any moment.
It really is not an exaggeration to say that there is some significant percentage of the American electorate which, if they turned on their television today and saw that a mushroom cloud had replaced Jerusalem, they would see a silver lining in that cloud.
About 6 years ago, upon inspiration by God, I believe, I started a website called raptureletters.com. The website is provided for people that have spoken with their relatives and loved ones about the kingdom of heaven and haven't been able to witness to them properly, or they just weren't convinced of anything. So they can go on my website and put a name and an email address, and the people will get sent a letter after the rapture takes place. The letter will hopefully provide some comfort to those people that receive it, and let them know that their loved ones are in heaven now, and that it also gives them a message and allows them to say a prayer to become saved and hopefully get into heaven themselves.
Insofar as people like that elect our presidents and congressmen, and insofar as they get elected as presidents and congressmen, that's a terribly dangerous state of affairs.
You'll have someone make up a fake quote or misrepresent the document, misrepresent the evidence. Then they'll put it on a website or put it in a book that's published by what people think is a respectable publisher. And then hundreds, thousands of Christians will read this and believe it because they assume, well, this guy wouldn't lie. He wouldn't have made this stuff up. And so they go and repeat it. And so you get the lie repeated many times, mostly by people who aren't lying, who really do think it's true, but they just didn't check.
101 last day prophecies, just some of the things that are supposed to happen. Literal Babylon, formerly called Babel, would reemerge in the land of Shinar. The land of Shinar is known as modern-day Iraq, and Saddam Hussein spent over 20 years rebuilding literal Babylon. As a matter of fact, I heard he had Madonna come in to christen it.
Faith really is a conversation stopper. If somebody says, it's my faith that life is sacred and God creates life and man should not meddle in it, and that really stops the conversation.
Unfortunately, it says in the Bible that there will be a multitude of people that go to heaven after the rapture, as well as the 144,000 male virgin Jews. The multitude will be wearing white robes. It's mentioned in the book of Revelation. And the number is too numerous to count, it says. But those people are also martyred. Most of them will lose their heads over their faith. So it's much better to accept Jesus as your Savior now and get taken up in the rapture than it would be to wait till afterwards and have to lose your head over something like that.
I don't wanna wait.
You know, here's the thing about Scott. I like him. He's a nice guy. He's a productive member of his community. He's a contractor with his own business. He supports his wife and kids. He's not crazy. At least, I hope he's not. Because I used to believe the same things that Scott believes.
The sea will become as blood of a dead man, and all life within it will die. Man will be scorched with great heat. Man will be covered with noisome and grievous sores. The islands of the sea will fade away. There will be lightning and thunder. 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 Are you ready to pass through all these horrible experiences?
and then go on to a black eternity.